Welcome to the Real Estate Show on WGBF AM with your host, Charlie Butler. This is where you'll learn to sell your home quickly and for more money. And now, the host of the Real Estate Show, the guy who guarantees to sell your home or he'll buy it himself, Charlie Butler.
Good Sunday morning to you. This is the Charlie Butler Radio Show. Actually, the Charlie Butler Real Estate Radio Show, I should say. Shouldn't I, Evie?
Yes, that's the best way to put.
And I am here with, and that lovely voice you just heard is my co-host, Evie Barr.
Good morning, Charlie. How are you?
I'm doing great, Evie. How you doing this morning?
I am doing wonderful. It's been a busy first week of the new year.
Well, that's always good to hear. You and I wanted to bring a couple things up. You and I were talking off the air. It sounds like you've got some programs now for people who may have had a couple of hiccups in their credit, that this could be some excellent programs for them.
Definitely. You know, Waterstone always has every program imaginable, whether it be conventional or government loans. Recently, we opened up our government financing for credit scores down to 600. So FHA and USDA loans, if someone has a lower credit score that maybe they were not able to get a loan with another lender, I would love to talk to them and see what we can do for them as well.
That's great. And so some of the people maybe you just answered this, but some of the people that didn't qualify maybe before on what the traditional things, who will qualify now? If somebody's sitting there thinking, well, you know, I've been late a couple times, you know, over the last couple of years. I paid it, but I was 30 days late. I'm just throwing an example out there.
If someone has been late on their mortgage in the past 12 months, we probably need to make sure that they've been paying on time for 12 months before we go to do anything, because that's pretty detrimental if you go to get a new mortgage loan. So what about if you're just
like if you're late on a credit card, or I'm trying to think of what else would be on your credit report,
or an auto loan?
Yeah, auto loan.
Yeah, it's possible. You know, with any borrower, I like to see their overall credit picture. I have people who call and say, well, I know I've got this, that, and the other on there, and it's really hard to give them proper direction without seeing the actual credit report and knowing in black and white what's on there. We have a program that we use called Credit Expert that we can see if there's any way to get their credit score to come up. I recently had a borrower who had a judgment that shows on their credit report, but it's been paid off for a few months. Well, once we get documentation that is paid off, then we could submit for a new credit score. It's going to pop their credit score up to where they'll get a better interest rate. So with anybody on their credit, we really have to look at the individual, but we understand things happen. So a lot of the government programs require a minimum credit score of 640 or higher. So if they don't fit into that box right now, maybe they are ready to do the 600 credit score to 639 to get them into a house.
So, you know, you could be a good politician, because every time I try to pin you down on an interest rate or a situation, you always wiggle out of it, you know. Every time I try to get you to say, okay, if I've got a client that if they brought cash in, they need 2 IDs, you know.
Yeah.
You seem to wiggle out of whether we can do it or not.
I have had politicians in the family. I'm not scared to say that. But every consumer is so different that it's hard to pinpoint and say, well, if Joe Smith has this, we can do that. Because I've actually had a borrower who was recently pre-approved by another lender. The lender did not give that borrower their credit scores. They did not tell them what was on the credit report. There was a bunch of medical collections on there that had been taken care of. And to me, the lender really was not doing the right thing for the borrower by giving them the heads up of everything that was on there. And then whenever I talk to the borrower, she thinks she's going to be pre-approved real easy. Well, no, we've got some things we need to fix. I don't know if the other lender was going to wait until they were in the middle of the loan, but for me, it's a whole lot easier to hit those things up front and make the underwriting process a whole lot easier.
So with FICO 9 now, if that is, with the change in credit scores, which was supposed to happen in July.
Yes.
Has that happened?
The one thing I've noticed with credit reports is sometimes you can pull a credit report that shows more detailed report. So it shows exactly what the minimum payment was for 24 months, what you actually paid for 24 months, and when you paid it. So there are changes in the reports like that.
I was thinking more of, and someone who's been a guest on the show a couple of times, Derek Danks.
Yes.
I heard Derek talking one day that, and it may have been on the show he was talking about this, or before the show, that medical wasn't going to carry as much weight anymore as it used to.
Correct. And really, there's so many medical collections that show up. Whenever I tell people they're on that medical collection is on their credit report, they're pretty surprised. And medical collections are really good about getting thrown onto the credit report. The consumer thinks that the insurance company has covered it, and then maybe the insurance company does cover it, but then the collection agency doesn't pull it back off the credit report. So usually if we have something in writing from the collection agency saying that it has been resolved or paid off, we get taken care of for our borrowers.
Okay, that's great. And one other thing with you and with the Charlie Butler team on the real estate side, I think so many times we talk so much about Evansville and Newburgh and this area right around here. We, both you on the mortgage side and me on the real estate side, we cover a pretty big area.
Yes, because you can cover, out to where Princeton,
Vincennes. We've got some stuff going in Vincennes now. Really Tell City going, to the east. Had to get my directions straight here. And until we fall in the Wabash River on the west, So,
and then you are licensed in Kentucky as well, correct?
Yes, we're licensed in Kentucky. I think, we do a lot in Henderson. We do commercial in Owensboro because our commercial brand is probably bigger in Kentucky than our residential brand, quite honestly.
Right.
But once you get out in some of those smaller communities, I'm trying to think some of the names. Like I remember some of these Kentucky names, like Monkey's Eyebrow and Possum Trot.
I was thinking of Spottsville.
Spottsville,
yes.
Yeah. And I'll be quite honest, we're probably not the best people. You probably want to get someone who deals in that areas like that all the time. And actually, we've got an agent in our office, Chris Harney. Chris has got his Kentucky license, and on the residential side, I would highly recommend Chris. So our big thing, especially in Kentucky, is much more so the commercial side, and also in Indiana. I mean, right now we have more clients than we've got. Like it's multifamily housing, apartment complexes is a great example. We're doing free broker opinion of values on your apartment complex. So if you want to know what it's worth, whether you sell it or not, that's fine. We're not going to charge you. And obviously, hopefully, if you ever do decide to sell, we can do business down the road. But call me at 812-499-7758. We'd love to set up time, talk to you about your complex, and come out and see what we can do.
And one other thing, Keller Williams is a national company. So if someone in Evansville is looking to relocate out of state, can they contact your office to be referred to another realtor?
Absolutely. Keller Williams is actually an international company with just crossed 150,000 agents.
Oh, wow.
And and honestly, I can't remember every country overseas, but we're in an awful lot of countries overseas too. But our biggest presence is the U.S. and Canada. And so, we refer people out. And also people coming in. We just sold a house to a gentleman who was referred to us from an agent in Nashville, North Carolina. So, and that kind of stuff happens all the time. And I know Trey Dolby, who's going to be with us here in just a minute. I know Trey had referred one to Charlotte here a while back. And isn't that right? And in Charlotte, right, Trey? That's where Lisa Archer down there, right?
Yes, yeah, we sent them on to Lisa Archer's team down in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we just had one earlier late last year that was referred to us from Minnesota. So that happens a lot.
That's great. And that mysterious voice you just heard, that is Trey Dolby. Trey's an agent with Keller Williams. Trey is one of the fastest. Trey's one of the young stars in the business, actually, right now. I mean, Trey is one of the fastest growing agents. I don't mean growing out like I am, Evie.
I wasn't saying a word, Charlie.
I mean, as far as his business goes, I mean, he's just done a magnificent job. And I kind of wanted to get Trey in here to talk a little bit about that, about being fairly new in the business and yet doing so well. So welcome, Trey.
It's a pleasure to join you guys this morning.
And so Trey, what? And I lose track of the time here, but and don't say it's because of age, okay? But what was it? 2-3 years ago you started full time?
Yeah, I got my license in May of 2014. Just kind of dabbled in it. Sold a few homes in 2014. Really started getting after it in 2015. And been doing it full time for about a year and a half now.
So, what you've experienced some success. I mean, I'm not trying to brag on you, but you've experienced some pretty good success for being in it roughly 2 years or a little less than 2 years. So, what do you think? Why do you think you were able to get up and running that fast?
I think joining Keller Williams was something that really helped me, being around some big agents, not only here in Evansville like yourself, Charlie, but I have a friend over in Champaign, Illinois, Ryan Dallas, that does a lot of business.
Hey, Ryan, go Cardinals if you're listening on the podcast.
But yeah, I mean, just being around people like that has really helped me. They say you're the sum of the 5 people you hang around, and,
right.
and being around people that are doing big things, and the things that Keller Williams is doing right now is the big things, and I think that's the training that's there has really helped me.
So, and as Keller Williams, as the founder, Gary Keller of Keller Williams likes to say, we're an education company who just happens to sell real estate. And they really do believe that. But, I mean, Ryan helped you, maybe I helped you, and some others helped you, but you had to do it, though.
Right.
Was the thing. So, once you felt like you got, to the point where you could, what do you think? There's no secrets out there. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's no. As Darren Hardy says in his book, The Compound Effect, there's no secret. It's just hard frickin' work, And so, what do you attribute? I mean, you've done what? Trey's been in the business, and some of you that aren't realtors or listening, you see production ads out there, and you're going to do what, about 12, 13 million?
Yeah, right around 13 million in 2016.
Yeah. So, and 13 million, which is good for any agent. And Trey's only been in the business full time since 2014.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So, what do you attribute that kind of growth, Trey? I mean, I'll be honest, it took me longer than that. I guess I'm slower than you. But it took me longer than that to grow.
I wouldn't say that, but I mean, the biggest thing to it is you can go to all the training events in the world, but if you don't actually put it to use, you're just wasting your time and money. So I would say just getting out there and doing it and not being afraid to talk to people has been the biggest thing that's contributed to my success so far. And being willing to work hard. I mean, I was a solo agent for probably 6 months to 9 months once I went full time. On my own, and you can call my wife. It was a lot of work for her and being home with the kids, and we both made sacrifices, and now we're growing a team. We have people on our team that's helping us do it.
You and Trey has done a great job growing his team, and if you want, go ahead and feel free to give them a shout out because you got a couple great ladies that are with you.
Yeah, Tuesday Wilson, she's a buyer specialist on our team. She is a rock star herself. She actually started as the assistant last June, got her license in September, and I think she ended up selling right around 14 homes in the 3 months that she was licensed, which is really awesome. And then Cammie Shorter is our executive assistant, who's been with us a couple months. She was licensed, and her organization skills and everything's really helping us.
And Cammie, I know well. Cammie's been with Keller Williams actually for several years as an agent, and before she went to work with Trey, and while she was only doing it part time, still was doing quite well for a part time agent.
Yeah, she was selling several homes a year, doing it part time, and had another full time job. She said she really wanted to get into real estate full time, so we were able to help her make that jump, and she's been a huge contribution to our team.
I'm so glad you did that because I've been trying to talk her into that for years now. So I hope she's listening. Say, I told you so, Cammie. And just so everybody remembers, you are listening to the Charlie Butler Real Estate Show. I'm here with my co-host, Evie Barr, and proud to be here with our guest, Trey Delby. And Evie, you got your hand up. I saw you had a question over there. So you just want me to shut up for a minute. Is that it?
Well, I know real estate is such a referral-based driven business. So to have that much success in such a short period of time, how do you drive your referrals in to get that increase in your business?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, it is a referral-based business. So, the clients and the customers, the most important thing. And, I think a lot of our customers have seen that we try to take good care of them. So they've referred a lot of their friends and family. I've got a lot of business from people that I grew up with as well. And it's very important.
So just that constant contact, and I'm sure asking for referrals along the way too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's important. It's probably not my strong point, but yeah, staying in contact, making sure they like the home, not having any issues once they get in the home. And then, just casually mentioning when they have any friends or family looking to make a move to keep us in mind.
Yes.
So Trey, outside the referrals that Evie's talking about, where do you get your leads mainly? We hear whether it be real estate, insurance, whatever type of sales about lead generation, but is there a specific way you get your leads?
I can't think of, a ton of different ways. Referrals is a big source for us, definitely. I do a lot of phone calls. If somebody has their house up for sale by owner, I try to reach out to them. And honestly, I'm just trying to help them any way I can. So, if I go out and do a free market analysis, like you were talking about earlier, just let them know what their home's worth and what they can do to improve their home. And if they sell it on their own, then so be it. I'm glad I was able to help them. But, if they don't sell it, then hopefully they'll give us a call where we can step in and get them top dollar.
Okay. So how important, and, we, you and I have some of the same friends who, some of them are some of the top producing agents in the country. And one thing they've talked about in the last year that I hadn't heard them talk about in past years as much is the customer experience. The customer service. How important are you finding that?
I think it's very critical, and that's one of the reasons that I'm growing a team much like yourself. You're able to give a lot better customer service whenever you have the team environment. For example, I handle all the sellers that come through our team. Tuesday has been handling all the buyers that come through the team. And what that does is it allows us to focus on what their needs are. A lot of people that their home doesn't sell, they become frustrated because their realtor put their home on the market and they haven't heard from them in a long time. So we try to stay in contact with our sellers once a week or every other week, just to let them know what's happening in the market and see if they have any additional questions. So whenever I'm representing the seller, I'm able to focus on their needs, and I'm not shuffling around buyers trying to show them homes, deal with inspection responses and everything that you have going on. Cammie's able to help us on the paperwork side, the inspection side, while we focus in on the seller's needs, and Tuesday focuses in on the buyer's needs.
And for the realtors out there, because I've had several come to me about how to build a team. One thing Trey's doing, got he mentioned Cammie doing the paperwork. Any realtors that are listening, just remember, if you're inspection responses, things like that has to be a licensed person,
right?
On things like that.
Yeah, that's where it's handy that Cammie already had her license.
Absolutely,
she's able to just go right in, and we don't have to worry about those licensed versus unlicensed issues.
Yeah. So. I'm not saying, some of the people with unlicensed assistants, there's a lot of things they can do that are fantastic, but there are still there's a few things that a licensed assistant can do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have unlicensed assistants. Nothing against them. They do a great job as well. Just having that license enables them just to do a little bit more that they wouldn't otherwise be able to.
So, you're out there, you're talking about you're focusing on listings. And, so we all think our house is better than everybody else's. Let's face it.
Oh, absolutely. It's an emotional attachment.
Every one of it. So, I guess pricing is something that I'm always curious about. And I know the public, when I'm out there, when you're out there, you hear, well, Joe's house down the street sold for $200,000, and you're telling me mine's only worth $180. Now, yours may not be as nice, or as many may not have the amenities that one had, but you're convinced your house is nice.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of factors to consider.
So how do, on pricing, when you've got that situation, like that, what do you do?
I mean, I just walk them through the homes that I'm comparing theirs to. I mean, there's several things to take into consideration. Size of the home, you can't say a 3,000 square foot home versus a 1,000 square foot home is going to make any difference. It's going to make a huge difference on the price, obviously, as well as, like you said, all the amenities, the fenced-in backyard, the size of the property. So really, we just break it down in the costs that are associated with the condition, the sizes, all the upgrades.
Trey, I want to first off, before I ask the next question, just something I'm not good about is identifying ourselves. You don't know who you're listening to. We're listening to Charlie Butler Real Estate Show. I'm Charlie Butler, my co-host, Abby Barr. And we've got Trey Doby from Keller Williams with us, one of the top producers now in the area. And, I went through all that, and I forgot what my question was. Abby, go ahead.
That'll happen. What have you been noticing with the market since we've gotten through Christmas? I know we're at the beginning of the year, but, I mean, is the inventory still so low, or is it coming back?
Oh, no, we're still real short on inventory. There aren't near enough homes for sale right now. And we've made it past that dreaded election that everybody was worried about. I know we had a lot of concerns about that. So some people are starting to list their homes now that the election has passed. We've rolled over the calendar, so we're starting to see an uptick in activity this first week already. But definitely inventory's been a major problem throughout 2016. Everything I'm reading, for as far as national trends are expecting a shortage of inventory all year.
And I was going to say what Charlie always says is that the sellers or the people that are buying out there now are serious. So Charlie always says now is definitely the right time to list your house because people aren't going to go out and trudge in the snow and the cold unless they're serious.
Absolutely. I mean, there's really never a bad time to list your house for sale. We can show you statistics as far as when houses are sell, when they sell, when they don't. They sell all year long. I mean, people are always moving in and out of town for work. A lot of times, end of year, there may be maybe job transfers, creating people coming into the area. Like you said, when somebody needs a house, they're going to go out and get in that snow whenever they have a deadline they have to meet. I mean, we have homes for sale right now. Those people, when we get their home sold, they're going to be out looking. So there's never a bad time to put your home on the market.
So, Trey, people have been listening to you here, but how they get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can give us a call at 812-777-4611, or if you prefer, you could email us as well, and that's homes@thedobyteam.com, and Adobe is Dauby.
Or you can spell it Butler, either one. No,
yeah.
either way will work. Trey, you again, as we talked about the success you've had in a short period of time, but I remember when I started becoming successful, I made a lot of mistakes. And still do, but I made a lot at the start. And if you had it all do over again since you went full time with the success you've enjoyed, what would you do different?
I probably would have jumped in feet first a little quicker. I did real estate on the side while I had a full-time job, just to kind of try it out and make sure I liked it. And I loved it from the get-go, and I probably wish I would have pulled the trigger on going full-time sooner.
I guess where I was going with that, though, I can remember with myself, I would, when I first started, I would listen to the experienced agents, and I would say, well, there's something I want to do. You know, they're doing something I want. But then I would hear another that, I don't think I want to do that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just like you said, I mean, having you around to be a resource, you've been there for me to bounce questions off of, and having experienced agents in the office has been a huge asset and helped us sidestep some mistakes.
Well, that was, and again, same with me. The realtor group, which, you know, sold to Tucker years ago, I would just go from office to office, anybody talk to me, you know, and I'm sure I got some bad advice and some not so good advice.
Yeah.
Or some good advice and not so good advice. But
Absolutely, and that's the thing about the agents in our office at Keller Williams is everybody's willing to help each other out. I mean, Jared Eagleson, I believe he's been on your show.
he has.
He's been a great resource.
Great.
Yeah, he's a sales manager. He's been a great resource. Obviously, yourself, Jeannie McBride, just everybody's been a huge help over there.
And now we were talking the other day. You're getting ready to do a TV campaign, aren't you?
Yeah, actually, we've teamed up with Murphy Homes and WEVV to do a parade of homes for everybody to vote for the floor plan and basically how the home is built out. You can check that out at WEVV.com.
Okay. And again, WEVV.com. Again, Charlie Butler Show with Evie Barr. And Evie, what are, you know,
I'm sitting here pretty quietly. So with what you were just talking about with Murphy Homes, people are going to pick the design of the home that they'll build for parade?
Yeah, that's right. Each month, they're going to leave the voting open for each month. So I believe for the month of January, they're going to be picking out the floor plan of what the house is going to be like. And then every month from there on out, it's going to be something different. So probably February would be exterior finishes would be my guess, and then it just moves right along into the interior finishes. And Murphy Homes is going to build it out exactly how the public votes, and then it'll be available for tour in June during the big parade of homes.
Wow.
So are you representing Murphy Homes on some homes?
Yeah, we have 2 of their homes listed for sale right now out at Poet Square, out on the north side.
Okay, great. And
Show.
Where are you going to talk about?
I don't know. We'll make it up as we go along.
You're rolling. Just freestyle.
All right. Back with the Charlie Butler Real Estate Show and Evie Barr, and with our special guest Trey Doby. So Trey, going to be able to wind up about $13 million your second year. What's your goals?
Well, we got big goals. We're hoping to double in 2017, coming in right around $26 million. Hoping to help around 175 families make a move this year.
That's a big goal.
Yep.
That's a big goal. Well, and you can do it. I know. You know, and Trey has been a great resource at Keller Williams, and we're really happy to have you there. And thanks for being on today, Trey.
I appreciate it. It was a pleasure speaking with you guys today.
And Trey,
Thanks,
one more
Trey.
time before we go, you want to give them your contact info again? Anybody wants to get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can reach out to us at 812-777-4611, or you can email us at homes@thedobyteam.com. And again, Doby is Dauby.
All right, that's Trey Doby, one of the fastest growing producers. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
That is. And I think that says a lot for the Keller Williams team here in the Evansville area, to have someone that can jump in that quick, produce that much in just a year, starting fresh. That says a lot for your office.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's and that kind of shows what can be done. Now Trey has been, with his work ethic and he's a smart guy too. I mean, I'll just be honest about it, and he's getting it done on a high level right now, but others can too. I mean, what we do is not rocket science.
Right. And I like the fact that Keller Williams has the constant education for the new realtors and the continuing.
And I think it's about time for us to go, Evie.
Okay.
Evie,
if anybody wants to call me for a mortgage loan,
and where can they reach you at, Evie?
812-463-3199, or at my email address, ebar@waterstonemortgage.com.
And before you get that mortgage loan, call me if you're looking for a house, 812-499-7758, charliebutlerteam.com. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to The Real Estate Show on WGBF AM with the guy who guarantees to sell your home or he'll buy it himself, Charlie Butler. Join us every week at this time to find out how to sell your home quickly and for more money. For more information, email cbutler@kw.com or visit charliebutlerteam.com.